simultaneously, reduces the search time and improves target recognition reliability. When an emergency landing of the helicopter is impossible, a crew ejection system is a reliable means to save lives of the pilots. Both crew members are ejected simultaneously. In this case, helicopter rotor blades and cockpit canopies are first jettisoned automatically, and then rocket ejection units are activated. Ejection is provided throughout the entire flight altitude range of the helicopter, including at the zero altitude. When the helicopter conducts regular flights in isolation from its main base, it requires no test equipment, ground support or special aircraft equipment for its maintenance. In case of self-contained basing for 2 weeks, maintenance can be done by the helicopter crew. The KA-52 accommodates a built-in performance monitoring system, an independent power supply source, the TA-14 power unit, and mechanical systems for weapons suspension built in the helicopter wing. The KA-52 is designed for operation in desert, tropics, mountain conditions and at sea, in the range of ambient air temperature from 50 degrees Celsius minus to 50 degrees Celsius plus, and at relative humidity of 95–98%. An important feature distinguishing the KA-52 from other attack helicopters is its out-of-hangar operation. It has outdoor storage and service, without any shelters, using only covers and standard blanks. Its avionics suite has been developed using the most advanced digital data processing and data exchange technologies and combines high-precision inertial satellite and radio navigation systems, digital helicopter navigation automation system, a set of reconnaissance aids including target search and track electro-optical and radar systems, as well as an onboard communications and data transfer system, weapons management system and helicopter self-defense suite. The open systems architecture of the avionics suite makes it possible to include some systems into it, both as an option and instead of existing ones. The avionics suite gives the helicopter the round-the-clock combat capability. Pilots fly the helicopter at night wearing night vision goggles, using an infrared illuminator, thermal imaging and radar terrain mapping, on the basis of data surveillance system and digital terrain maps. The crew carries out search, target acquisition and aimed firing at night using an onboard radar, a day-night surveillance and sighting system, as well as external designation data. The GOES-451 day-night electro-optical surveillance and silence system includes TV search and sighting channel, thermal search and sighting channel, laser targeting channels for Viher and Attacker-type guided missiles, laser rangefinder, target illuminator. The main modes of the KA-52 surveillance and fire control radar are low-altitude flight mode, to detect obstacles in the flight direction around the clock and in any weather in order to avoid or fly around them during a low-altitude flight. Mapping mode, mapping of the terrain, finding the position of the ground targets and navigation points, to ensure helicopter navigation in a real tactical environment, as well as meteor mode, to determine the moisture target boundaries. Airborne communications and data transfer system. It provides telephone and radio communications and data exchange with cooperating airplanes, helicopters and ground control posts. Data transfer equipment transmits navigation data, target data and other tactical situation data generated by the helicopter's onboard reconnaissance set in digital format from the helicopter to ground and air subscribers. The Breeze broadband radio channel transmits tactical video from the helicopter to ground subscribers. The helicopter's electro-optical countermeasure system is designed to protect it from engagement by surface-to-air missile SAM systems, including manpads and anti-aircraft artillery systems, by detecting the threats and using countermeasures against attacking weapons. The helicopter is equipped with powerful modern weapons, movable 30mm 2A41 cannon, 460 rounds, S-8Com unguided rockets with heat fragmentation warheads, up to 80. Vihar and Attacker-type air-to-surface missiles. Up to 12 such missiles can be installed on board the KA-52 helicopter. Igla-S air-to-air guided missiles, up to 4. To date, the KA-52 is unrivaled in mix of armaments and their firepower. The effective firing range of its cannon and unguided rockets exceeds the similar indicator all known attack helicopters in the world by 800-1000 meters. The range of Vihar anti-tank guided missile is still unsurpassed and is at least 10 kilometers. The Vihar missile flies at 600 meters per second and is superior to all known anti-tank heli-borne missiles in speed in its class. The KA-52 helicopter has no equal in conducting operations in the mountains due to its unmatched operational altitude and unique maneuverability. Its high thrust-to-weight ratio provides effectiveness in hot climates. The uniqueness of the helicopter is also in its versatility in performing both reconnaissance and strike missions. The helicopter is unique for its universal in both reconnaissance and attack missions. Its capability to save the crew from any emergency, fly in any weather and climate, as well as self-containment and out-of-hangar storage, continue the best traditions of the Russian helicopter industry. And moreover, we enter the new age with new technology to unveil a world of new capabilities for you.
People's Liberation Army has commissioned China's domestically developed transport helicopter Z-18A. The Z-18A can carry up to 30 passengers and has a range of about 1,000 kilometers. The Z-18A is more powerful than the earlier Z-8B model or the Mi-171 helicopter manufactured by Russia for the Chinese military. The Z-18A is capable of flying as high as 8,000 meters on plateaus, and it can carry people as well as large pieces of equipment. The aircraft can operate during both daytime and nighttime, and can fly in extreme weather conditions. The Z-18A incorporates design changes that enable the crew to get a better view than what is available in its current Navy counterpart. China and Russia are currently
rotor blades that change to suit different flight conditions. 6 months ago we created a dedicated team to focus on emerging technologies and how we could incorporate them into our products. Bell Helicopter's president and CEO Mitch Snyder aids Heli Expo. Among that team's first tasks was to display visually the technologies and innovations that present a roadmap that we envision bringing to market.
We thought, hey, a concept vehicle at the auto industry works. It really inspires your customers. It inspires your employees. So why don't we try it in the aerospace and in particular the helicopter industry and see if it does the same. And it really has. It's brought our employees up to another level. It gives the market a look at our future vision. And it reminds our customers that they're in the right place with the most innovative helicopter company out there. We've been working on the FCX-1 for about 6 or 7 months now. We brought a creative team and an engineering team together, came up with the concept. They pulled us a little closer to our boundaries or even beyond our physical boundaries, our physics boundaries, and then we pulled them more towards the engineering side.
The result is a concept that features a number of innovations both inside and out. At the rear, the tail boom has an embedded anti-torque system to improve safety, reduce noise, and increase performance. The copter's hybrid propulsion system sees advanced thermal engine cores handling main propulsion and feeding into the electric motors that power the anti-torque system for better control and simplifying maintenance. Providing the lifting power are morphing rotor blades that can change shape for better performance under different flight conditions. Meanwhile, the airframe is designed to improve visibility and situational awareness, and is not only customizable, but is also made of advanced sustainable materials. In addition, Bell says that the airframe is central to the aircraft's energy management system, which harvests, stores, attenuates, and distributes external energy or system energy to the flight systems. Inside, there's a single pilot seat with augmented reality technology and an artificial intelligence computer system instead of a co-pilot. Stallion will be the Marine Corps next-gen heavy lift helicopter, replacing the CH-53E Super Stallion. The goal is to provide the Marines with the best heavy lift helo in the world. Ultimately, the Marine Corps plans to have 8 active duty squadrons, 1 training squadron, and 1 reserve squadron. It is not just super strong, the Marines' cutting-edge new helicopter is incredibly advanced in other ways too. In fact, it is so smart it can nearly fly itself. The new helicopter can carry 27,000 pounds as an external load, and it can do this over 110 nautical miles. It will certainly bring powerful lift to war zones. In fact, the King Stallion has a very versatile external hook system. Marines will be able to opt for a single, dual or triple hook so it can carry up to 3 independent loads at a time. The new Hilo will have a cruise speed of 141 knots with a range of about 530 miles. The CH-53K King Stallion has a larger cabin. It is wider by a foot than the CH-53E Super Stallion. This is important because it means the helicopter will be able to carry high-mobility multi-purpose wheeled vehicles. Cargo will be much easier to load and unload, and without having to remove troop seating. King Stallion has many safety features built in to enhance the safety of Marine Corps personnel. In addition to world-class self-defense weapons, the new Hilo incorporates advanced lightweight armor and enhanced ballistic protection. The troop seats and retracting landing gear are also engineered to be crash-worthy. There are advances to help free up the crew so they can focus on the mission. New mission management and full authority fly-by-wire flight controls, for example, are two of these exciting advances off any direct threat, saying that the Kremlin has no reason to risk tangling with fresh NATO deployments this year that include significant US reinforcements. But they also say that the week-long ZAPAD 2017 exercise is intended to unsettle their societies and send a political message that Russia is as credible and dangerous a military power as it was during the Cold War. At NATO headquarters in Brussels, senior officials say that their intelligence services are closely monitoring Russia as it draws up its military alongside their borders. They say that Moscow's unwillingness to open the exercises to observation raises the risk of unplanned conflict stemming from misunderstandings. With more military activities along our borders in the air, at land and at sea, the risk for incidents, accidents, miscalculations is increasing, NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg said in an interview. Transparency is the best way to avoid those kinds of incidents, accidents. Russia annually holds war games that rotate among the country's military districts. This year's installment involves the Western forces, which account for Russia's frontier from the Kola Peninsula high above the Arctic Circle all the way south to Ukraine. Moscow has repeatedly stated that it is being open about the purpose and size of the war games, which simulate how to defend the northwest portion of Belarus from a domestic separatist insurrection, fueled by support from abroad. Franz Klintsevich, a senior member of Russia's upper house of parliament, said Western refusal to believe that shows that the demonization of Russia continues. But Western military officials say Russia has been hiding the true size and sweep of the war games, the official part of which will play out in Belarus, which borders NATO members Poland, Lithuania and Latvia. They say that the drills with Belarusian troops are merely the tip of a major mobilization of Moscow's upgraded and modernized military machine, with separate but coordinated maneuvers involving paratroopers, armored units, railroad troops, air and naval forces, strategic forces, security troops and units in the heavily armed exclave of Kaliningrad, home to Russia's Baltic Sea Fleet. One element of the exercise may involve Russia's First Guards Tank Army, a unit whose very existence is symbolic of the renewed tensions with the West. Russia in 2014 reconstituted the army, a formation whose Soviet-era purpose was to smash through NATO's lines in the event of war, after disbanding it in 1998. Despite the significance of the drills, Western officials interviewed last week dismissed the idea that the games are any more than that. We don't see any imminent threat when it comes to any large-scale military operation against any European country now, Stoltenberg said. In Latvia, Foreign Minister Edgars Rinkēvičs said the country's leaders are not panicking but are being cautious because what we are seeing is that the exercises are of an offensive nature. They are exercising access and area denial. They are exercising against at least 4 NATO member states under the pretext that they are fighting separatists. Viewed from the Baltic nations, the exercises reflect Putin's oft-repeated stance that Russia is surrounded by a hostile and aggressive force in NATO, and have 2 apparent goals. One is to rehearse the capability to seal off Lithuania, Latvia and Estonia, and deny access to the Baltic Sea to NATO forces attempting to come to their rescue. The other is a strategic challenge to US and NATO leaders by demonstrating the high cost of defending the Baltics, thus sowing uncertainty about the viability of the alliance. We in Estonia already live in constant fear. This is the predominant feeling in society, fear. If society feels threatened, you can manipulate it, said Dmitry Teparik, chief executive at the International Center for Defense and Security in Tallinn, Estonia. Confidence in NATO took a hit in the Baltics after the election of President Donald Trump, who repeatedly characterized the alliance as obsolete. But the arrival early this year of 4 multinational NATO battalions, one for each Baltic state and Poland, helped steel nerves, along with repeated visits from Trump deputies who are more clearly committed to the alliance than the president. During the Zapad exercises, an additional company of US forces will be present in each Baltic country, a presence that is symbolically important, Teparik said. The flag tells Russia that if you have a problem with Poland or Lithuania, you have to take it up with Washington, he said. The campaign rhetoric was worrisome, but actions have proven that America as a state and as a society was committed to the alliance. The Baltic countries, as with NATO as a whole, have learned their lessons since 2014, when Russia shocked the world with its lightning annexation of Ukraine's Crimean Peninsula using little green men, troops in uniforms without insignia, said Janis Karasins, State Secretary of Latvia's Defense Ministry. He said Moscow might use the exercise to try out new cyber attacks or wrinkles in information warfare.